Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll call to order the Town of Beloit Board of Supervisors meeting for Monday, August 17th. Roll call, please, Quinn.
Chair Greenlee.
Here.
Supervisor McMillan.
Here.
Supervisor Pellick.
Aye.
Supervisor Northrop. Supervisor Walrath.
Here.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Adoption of the agenda. Is there a motion?
I would move to adopt the agenda, but not as presented.
What does that mean?
I have one question about the agenda. On the agenda, item number 11 is citizens' participation. And I see it is moved, it's been moved on the agenda to a later spot on the agenda. I'm not privy as to know as to why that's been done. Who set this? Who did this?
It was moved to the end of the agenda so people could speak after the moratorium was voted on.
Okay, do you think that's,
Yeah.
do you think, well, I wonder if that's really apropos.
The thinking behind it, John, was that because assuming the moratorium is passed, people would be able to make comment on the passing of the moratorium and what the next steps would be in that moratorium.
You don't think what they'd have to say would affect passing the moratorium?
Not at all,
Okay,
but that's just my opinion.
right. Well, let's see if this goes up or down. I would move to place item 11, citizens' participation, between 8 and 9, and move 9 and 10 to slots 10 and 11. That would be an amendment I would make to the agenda.
Is there a second to that motion?
She dies for lack of a second. Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Well, does he, I'm sorry, John, do you move then to approve the agenda?
No.
Okay.
Somebody else will have to do that.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded to adopt the agenda as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
All right.
Okay, thank you. Next is minutes from the special meeting held July 31st and the board meeting held August 3rd. Any questions on those? Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the meetings July 31st, 2026 and August 3rd, 2026.
I'll second.
Okay, moved and seconded to approve the minutes from the special board meeting held July 31st and the board meeting held August 3rd, 2026. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None, thank you. Next is public notices, please, Quinn.
The next town board meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, September 8th. And we have Parks Committee listed scheduled for September 2nd and Plan Commission scheduled for September 9th.
Thank you. Next is board comment. Steve, do you want to lead us off?
To the shock and surprise, I have no comment this week.
All right.
My only comment is now, like, when we get to the point of 9C on new business, we will be able to make comments on the not just the resolution, but on the proposal for a moratorium. Correct?
Just discussion.
It's discussion, yes. It's
Okay.
listed-
Well, just
listed
to-
as discussion.
Sorry to clarify what John's asking. The resolution tonight is for a possible moratorium, which requires a public hearing first.
Right.
So I'm not sure if the questions can be answered tonight about a moratorium because that comes 30 days later. Tonight is just about the resolution that the law says we have to pass a resolution stating that we are requesting a moratorium.
It's
All
the
right, I think I can-
first of many steps that are to
I
come.
get that.
throughout.
I get that. Well, I think I can couch what I have to say to include it being a comment on the resolution for a moratorium. Okay?
Okay. Carl?
I'm good,
Okay.
thanks.
Okay, being no further comments, we'll have license hearings. We have one for a fireworks permit. Any questions on that?
I would move to approve the Oscar Flores application for a fireworks permit as presented.
Second,
Moved and seconded to approve the license fireworks permit as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Thank you. Next is purchase orders and bills. Thought we weren't gonna have any of those for a minute.
Well, we do have.
We do.
We do.
Any questions on those?
Yes, on the, this may not be included in the bills, but was there any change order, John, on what was done on security? Was there a change order?
For the repaving?
Yeah, was there,
Yes, so.
do you know what that amounted to?
It was $30-some, $40,000?
Yeah, I don't remember offhand.
It was around that number, John. They got in there and there was no base under there. So
No, I know
okay,
that.
you know about that,
You're right,
yeah.
right. But we'll see that at the next
It
meeting?
was
then?
actually on the $600,000 bill that was submitted at the previous meeting. If you,
So that was included
it
in
was
the whole.
included,
okay.
there was a separate line item
All right.
on the bill that
Right,
showed
okay. right.
that additional amount added.
I got
John,
you.
would you like a summary from my office on what that total amount was?
Well, I'd just like to see what the amount what it was to do that, you know. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Frank. Any other questions on the purchase orders and bills?
I was gonna ask John, since Leanne's not here, how many Durangos do we have left?
Too many.
Somebody say too many?
I did.
4, I think. I could be off on that, could be 5.
And we'll replace next year, 2 at a
We're
time?
replacing 2 a year is what we're trying to do. But they're running out of their useful life.
Yeah.
And they're soaking up a lot of money in repairs. It may be less than that down too, it may be down to 4.
Thanks.
Any other questions on purchase orders and bills? Is there a motion?
I'll move to approve the purchase orders and bills as presented. Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the purchase orders and bills as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Thank you. Next is new business. First is discussion and possible action on an MOU with the Town of Beloit Professional Police Association.
So with the Leanne's not here, so I'll take this one. With the SRO program that we created with the Turner School District, it is outside the normal working conditions, working setup that our police union has. So they're requesting an MOU to define the working conditions for Officer Davies when he assumes the role as the school resource officer. He'll be on a different work schedule when he's working for the school district, different days off, stuff like that. So the MOU, which you have a copy of in your packet, goes through the details of what those changes are.
So it's Officer Davies has
Dalton
been
Davies.
selected?
Yes. Yeah, he went through an interview process with the school district, and he was the chosen one.
And did this memorandum of understanding affect at all the agreement that we had with Turner and their understanding?
No, not at all.
Okay, all right.
We were in discussions with them, John.
Yeah,
We found what was
right,
going on.
but this came after the last meeting we
Yeah,
had
it did, but,
at both Turner and here. Okay,
yeah, but we were working with
Right.
Dr. McCarthy on
Right.
what was involved.
all right, good.
Any further questions on the MOU? Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the MOU with the Town of Beloit Professional Police Association as presented.
I'll say it.
Moved and seconded to approve the MOU with the Town of Beloit Police Professional Police Association as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Thank you. Next is discussion and possible action on a new bank agreement.
So our service agreement with First National Bank, now Bank First, was due to expire on September 1st. So I put out a proposal to all the local banks in Beloit and Janesville. And we contacted five return proposals. Lake Ridge Bank, who is in Janesville and is looking at building a bank branch in Beloit, came back with the best proposal. They are not going to charge us any fees, and they are offering us the highest interest rate on our money that we'll have sitting in the bank, and they lowered the minimum amount we need to keep in the bank that would not earn interest, so we'll earn more interest on that higher amount. So I would recommend that we accept Lake Ridge Bank as the new town bank.
So, I don't know a lot about that, but never heard of them.
So what Lake Ridge Bank did is they're Monona State Bank and the Bank of Cross Plains. So they're a much larger bank than Bank First. I forget what the number of billions of dollars in capitalization that they have, but they are moved into a branch in Janesville. And they recently hired all of the former First National Bank employees that worked in Beloit for their Beloit branch. So our old customer service rep, our old loan officer are all working for Lake Ridge Bank now.
Okay.
And they are planning and looking at locations to build a branch in Beloit. Quinn lives in Janesville, so he'll be able to assist with deposits at night when he heads home and everything. So it'll be an inconvenience for a while, but once they get something open down here, and with the additional interest we can earn and the lack of fees being charged, it'll be beneficial.
Can we find a place on Inman Parkway for
I
that?
talked to him about that.
We're working on it.
Yeah,
Next
you
to
let
the
him know?
next to the Culvers.
yes.
Did you let them know that there's a couple of vacant ones?
I did.
They're not-
They tried to buy the old First National Bank on Cranston, and they were told no. And they also reached out to the old M&I Bank, and they would not sell it to them.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. All right.
I'd move to approve the Lake Ridge Bank as the new town operating bank.
Second?
Moved and seconded to approve Lake Ridge Bank as the new Town of Beloit operating bank. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Thank you. Next is discussion and possible action on a resolution for a moratorium on data center development in the Town of Beloit.
So like Stephen mentioned earlier, the first step in passing a moratorium is you have to pass a resolution which starts the clock ticking on holding a public hearing within 30 days. So if this resolution is passed tonight, we would have to hold a public hearing, which we are tentatively planning to do September 21st in order to discuss the next steps in the moratorium.
Just one-
September 21st, you said?
Yes.
September
Just one point of correction, John.
Okay.
I know you said within 30 days. It's actually a minimum of 30 days.
Minimum, okay.
So it has, just for a point of technicality.
Okay. Any further discussion on that resolution?
No, on the resolution, the preparation of the resolution, we would be dealing independently with our lawyer on that, correct? I mean, Nolan would be helping us prepare that, correct?
Correct, and any other lawyers that he may need to pull in with expertise to be able to help us do that.
Right. I would be in favor of not only on the resolution, but on the preparing of the moratorium to follow, of coming up with an intergovernmental agreement to save us costs and to save others costs also, but an intergovernmental agreement between La Prairie, Turtle, Rock, the town of Janesville, all these townships, Harmony, any township in Rock County that's affected by this, and also including the city of Janesville, which has had to deal with the data center question, and the city of Beloit, which is going to have to deal with some issues with the data center, joining together with them on an intergovernmental agreement and hiring one lawyer instead of all of us having 7 or 8 lawyers running around doing this and duplicating all of this work, and coming up with not only a resolution, but a moratorium that could fit all these different municipalities. And I think that would save costs not only for us, but for others. And I think that's something that we should look into before we deal only with what we want ourselves.
You're talking about an ordinance, when we create the ordinance, right?
I'm talking about creating an intergovernmental agreement with them, signing a document with them where we would share costs on legal representation in preparing both the resolution and the moratorium. And I think that's something we should look into. I don't think that would delay this at all. We've got till the 21st before we have a public hearing on it. But I think we should be doing some background steps maybe to do this. And as a group, I've already talked to the Wisconsin Towns Association in Shawnee, Wisconsin about this, and they think it's a great idea, and would give us more expertise and more institutional knowledge and depth of knowledge, because all of these other municipalities have had to deal with this also. And we're not just an island by ourselves. We have common interests with these different municipalities in carrying this out.
So you're just, I'm just to
I'm just
clarify,
throwing
you're
this idea out here for now, and I really think, attaching it to tonight's discussion in the motion, saying that we are going to go forward and look into the possibility of doing this as we prepare for this resolution on moratorium and our 21st of September meeting.
Just
We
as
as a group would like to do this.
I'm sorry, just as one, I think technically, and I'm only speaking from my experience with Robert's Rules of Orders, we'd have to keep the motion clean for the resolution. But then to your point, then, because it's at least 30 days, it's not a minimum of 30 days. So we don't have to do a proposal for as long as we need to in order to explore exactly what you're talking about.
Right.
So if that meets with your approval, the resolution's okay, and then we'll continue the exploration, like you said, of the intergovernmental agreement.
Right.
Yep.
So then we would direct John to,
Direct John to do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Contact those different municipalities and see if they want to join together in doing this.
Well, our attorney represents
Well, I know he does,
Majority
that's,
of
I know he does, and I know that firm does.
the firm, does, yeah,
Yes.
not just our attorney.
Right, I get that, but other firms represent the town of Janesville and Harmony and, the town of Clinton, and I would invite whoever else wants to join in on the effort, because I'm sure that if we come up with a moratorium here, they're just gonna slide down the neighborhood and knock on somebody else's door. So.
All right. So what is your motion, John?
Robert, if it's okay, John, with you, I'll make the motion to accept this resolution to the enactment of a moratorium on the data center development in the town of Beloit. And we'll just leave that as a clean motion, and then, to your point, then we will continue discussions as we've directed John to see about intergovernmental agreements after that.
And I'm agreed with that if it has force.
Sure,
we have
well,
to
it's where we
follow up.
directed, right.
Yeah, okay.
So the resolution stays, we'll accept the resolution relative to the enactment of a moratorium on a data center development in the town of Beloit.
Is there a second?
you okay with that?
I'll let you do it.
I'll second.
I'll second if you want, as long as we got that condition in there.
Sure.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
Moved and seconded to take action on a resolution for a moratorium on data center development in the town of Beloit. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Thank you. Next is consider recommendations from the planning commission. We have a public hearing, discussion and possible action on an update to the R1 zoning code. Public hearing is now open. Anyone wishing to speak on this matter? Tim, anything that you wanna?
I was gonna let John take it, cause he
Oh, I
was at
talked
the
to
meeting
John
and I
today.
was already.
This was brought before the plan commission. This is something we've been discussing with them at several meetings. We've had requests from builders in the community to have smaller lot sizes for a couple reasons. One, they're telling us their customers do not want large yards. And two, it allows them to spread the infrastructure cost of a subdivision over more lots.
And as somebody who's on the planning commission, just as a point of information, we discussed it in detail. The input that we received as a planning commission was that there was a request from the marketplace to have this available as an option. Doesn't mean it's forced on anybody. You can buy bigger lots all you want, but it was just an option that would open up for somebody who might want a smaller lot. It was just giving that option.
All right. Any further questions on this?
Just so the public understands here, though, there's gonna be whole subdivisions where these smaller lots would be laid out.
As an option.
Right.
Yeah, not required though.
It would have the potential, John.
Right.
The one that we have currently, for consideration is the Heritage Grove. Thank you. The one that NextGen's proposing for the lands we purchased from Wheeland on the
West side of the tracks, yeah.
The original concept that they brought in had a batch of lots that would not meet our current ordinance at an 80-foot minimum, but with this change, they would meet that. There were about a third, I think, of the lots that they've got in there that switched to a 70-foot minimum. And so, it's a request that they've made, and we've discussed it a number of different times back and forth, and I think it's a good thing overall.
So, in any other communities, does NextGen have these size lots that you're aware of?
They're working in other places that actually have smaller size lots.
Okay.
The city of Janesville and the city of Beloit both have provisions for zoning areas that have smaller lot sizes than this.
Because that's what I was gonna ask, so out on the Gateway, like Gateway Boulevard, I don't know what their lot sizes are out there, but those houses are like, so they must be on smaller lots like this too.
Yeah, depending on what zoning designation they get in the city, they've got some stuff that actually goes down to 50-foot lots, so.
Okay.
Thanks.
Any further questions or discussion? Public hearing is now closed. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion to update the R1 zoning code as presented.
Is there a second?
I will second that.
And I will just make one comment before we vote on it, please. Skip Rath and I had some objections to it in the planning commission, in that even though we know we have no control over what private enterprise does with these, we don't feel like the cost of the lot or the savings would be passed on to the buyers. So that was our objection. But again, that didn't win the day. So.
All right. So we do have a motion and a second to amend chapter 10 of the zoning code, section 10.06, R-1, single family residential. Parent 2, parent E through 10.06, parent 2, parent G will be added as follows. Chapter 10, section 10.06, parent 2, parent E, minimum lot size 9,000 square feet. Chapter 10, section 10.2.06, parent 2, parent F, minimum lot width 68 feet. Chapter 10, section 10.06, parent 2, parent G, minimum side yard setback 8 feet. And That is the motion. All in favor?
I,
Opposed?
Aye.
None.
No, John.
no, John.
I'm sorry, John.
Quinn.
All right. Next is citizen participation. Each person must complete a public comment card, and it must be given to the town clerk before the meeting begins. Each individual may speak once for a maximum of 2 minutes, and there is no yielding of time to any individual. Speakers must come to the podium and state their name and address. Comment time will be limited to 30 minutes in total unless approved or extended by the board. Public hearings will be limited to 30 minutes in total unless extended by board action. So, who do we have first, Quinn?
First up, we have Sarah Miller.
Hi, my name is Sarah Miller. I live at 1115 Big Hill Road. I don't have anything prepared. I just wonder why we keep dragging our feet. And for me, this is more than just about data centers. It's about people having no confidence in government, no confidence in federal government, no confidence in state government, and people need to have confidence in government. We are totally against the data centers. We don't want them in a year. We don't want them in 2 years. We don't want them, period, in the town of Beloit. I don't understand when the mission statement that you read a few weeks ago, the mission statement of the town of Beloit, and that you decided that data centers don't align with that. When actually that mission statement was adopted, because I believe that when the data centers were talking about coming to the town of Beloit, it's the same now. Nothing's changed. They're not good. No communities want them. Why don't we do something where instead of following other communities, we extend how we feel about them, that we're gonna keep them out longer. We're gonna keep them out for 5 years or 10 years, or why can't we put something like that into writing? All these developers and all this new construction, who wants to buy those houses that they are not assured that they're buying, families are buying them. They want their children to be in safe homes. The school district, you're going to be asking for more money. The school district's going to be asking for more money because we're going to have all these new families. If these developers can sell those lots. And we're worried about data centers suing the township. Why isn't the township worried about some of these developers suing them? They are looking at your mission statement. We're all about families, we're all about a better community, and then now we're putting something like that right out our back door. I wanted to ask your lawyer some questions, but he doesn't happen to be here tonight. If that lawyer can't get the job done, then that lawyer is, I'm not knocking that firm. Actually, my lawyer is in that firm. But if that lawyer can't get the job done, then we either need to get a different firm, or we need, like Mr. Pellock suggested, other lawyers to get the job done. Because I personally am tired of making signs. I'm tired of this overtaking my life. I know a lot of you are tired of this. Like, this is a thing. You can't go anywhere without people talking about it. No one's going to change their mind. If there's anybody up there that is for them, I don't believe there is, but I don't know. But I also am tired of defending you, by the way, too. Because there are a lot of people that talk about, oh, they're on the take, oh, somebody's giving you money. I don't believe that for 1 minute. I believe that you care about the community. I believe that the reason you ran was because you do care about the community and you wanted to serve the community. So, but I am now constantly having to defend you about who's got whose hand in whose pocket.
Okay,
Make
Your
it
time
easy
is
for
up.
yourself. I beg your pardon?
you're over your time,
Okay.
but thank you for your comments.
Sarah, if I could just answer you real quickly, these things take time. That's why it's a long process, there's a lot of work that has to be done. I'm sorry, but,
No, I understand.
so,
No,
Right.
it's easier than just slamming the door. I mean, you've got to take steps, legal steps.
Can I respond just one comment, is that I was very annoyed when the September 21st date was mentioned, and then after that, 3 times, possibly September 21st. Why can't we get this ball rolling September 21st? If that's the minimum date, why can't we do it then, that date? Why do we have to then, let's get the work done. That's a month.
We're working on it. Thank you. Next,
Next up is Lana Field.
Okay, I was hoping this was gonna be another meeting and got the wrong one, I'm sorry, but
your address?
on Lana Field, 2540 South Swain Drive in Beloit. Okay, I'm here to say that I don't want data centers. I do not want AI especially, lived without it and don't need it anymore, or don't need it now. And I am saying that there should be no water pollution, especially since it's disappearing. And I have a no, I don't want higher electricity bills with all the wires and whatever's going on. I don't want noise pollution 24/7, and taking the fields that is supposed to be for food for the animals and for humans, and it's killing the bees, possible killing bees, and we cannot eat data. No deleting property value, since no one wants to live next to them, and no datas to use for surveillance. And I don't want no more sleepless nights and anxiety. And that's for, I think, most of us. And so, if no data centers, what part of no don't you understand? Thank you.
Next up is Linda Wallace.
Hi, I'm Linda Wallace. I live at 940 Oak in the town of Beloit, in Beloit. We asked, you listened, and you've acted. We're here this afternoon in support of the resolution relative to the enactment of a moratorium on a large hyperscale development in the town of Beloit. Thank you for hearing us, your constituents. We asked very loudly for a moratorium to slow down what had previously felt like an avalanche that could not be stopped. For 12 months, it's been paused. Now the tougher, much less sexy work begins, drafting the moratorium. Protections and safeguards need to be worked into the language of the moratorium, beginning with a review of existing ordinances, such as noise regulation, light pollution protections, air quality regulations, surface and groundwater regulations, emergency services capacity, industrial and zoning ordinances. We understand that drafting the moratorium, reviewing and updating existing ordinance will be an arduous process. We need protections in place to ensure future developments are appropriate for our community and fit into the wonderful comprehensive plan that you guys have. I was really glad to hear part of that read at the last meeting. We need safeguards in place, methods of accountability, and foreseeable actions for new developments. We need environmental monitoring, beginning with independent environmental studies to establish a baseline survey of where our environment stands today. Not asking too much, am I? Finally, many of us would like to offer our services as a community advisory committee. There's so much knowledge within this community and people willing to share their time and expertise. You, the board of the town of Beloit, do not need to shoulder this burden alone. The burden of drafting the moratorium, reviewing and updating all the existing ordinances alone. We're here to help and we want to be part of the process. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up is Shelley Stroman.
Shelley Stroman, 6555 South Kruger Drive, Beloit, Wisconsin, Town of Rock. So I want to bring up something tonight that we need to be paying attention to as we move forward through this moratorium process, and that's with all of this costing our taxpayers and whether we're paying for work that's already being shared between multiple townships. So thank you, John, for bringing that out, because I think that it's really important that I'm already seeing that these are being worked on. I mean, I'm seeing some errors and some sharing that's going on here, but if we're going to be sharing information and sharing moratorium language, I think that we should also be sharing costs. I don't think that one specific township should be paying everything. I don't think that all specific townships should be paying the full cost either for utilizing the same attorneys. Because I'm literally looking at draft ordinances that say the town of Turtle and later on down the line say the town of Rock. So I know that they're being reshared and reused. So the town of Rock, the town of Beloit, the town of Turtle are all working through very similar resolutions, moratorium language, and legal research. I know some of it is different. I know each township has a little bit of give and take in some places, but I think that the bulk of it is really, it's the meat and potatoes of this whole thing. So as we know, and as I can show you, some of that work is already being shared. When we got the town of Beloit's resolution, it still had town of Turtle listed on it, and the town of Turtle moratorium still had the town of Rock listed on it. Mistakes happen, and that's not really my point here tonight, but my point is that some of this work is being reused or adapted between small towns. So my question is, are we sharing that cost too? Because $300+ an hour adds up really quick. And if an attorney has already researched and drafted language that's being used across multiple townships, I don't think that we should all be paying full price. So I'm asking the board to consider an IGA in place with the neighboring townships before we get much farther into this, to determine ahead of time how legal costs will be divided. I'd also like to see it happen before significant bills start coming in. Once that money is spent, it's a lot harder to go back and sort it all out. I'm not accusing anyone of doing anything wrong. I'm just asking us to get ahead of it and to protect your taxpayers. I know that as a Town of Rock resident and as some Town of Turtle residents that may be here tonight, we're already looking at a big enough cost when it comes to our fire and EMS protection. So I think that, especially I live in such a small township, I don't think that us shouldering a very large legal bill is really within our capabilities at this time if we don't share some of that weight. So if we're sharing the work, we should be sharing the cost. I think it's fair, it's responsible, and it's something that all taxpayers and residents deserve. Thank you.
Thank you.
And finally, we have Brittany Keys.
Good evening. My name's Dr. Brittany Keys. I reside in the city of Beloit, and I am your neighbor, and I am tired also. And I'm grateful for each of you here, everybody that continues to spend time on this issue. And thank you to the supervisors and staff that recognize the significant public health threat that hyperscale data centers pose. that was brought before you by a licensed health professional. When looking at protecting your residents from potential liability, you're showing that you're being proactive to this potential threat by advancing this moratorium. I also want to say that you have the backing of the Wisconsin Public Health Association, which represents over 600 members and includes 104 organizations. There was a resolution approved May 20th, 2026 regarding unregulated hyperscale data centers are a public threat to public health in Wisconsin. And I'm going to read some highlights. Whereas the total public health impacts of hyperscale data centers could reach more than 20 billion through hospitalizations, medication uses, emergency room visits, and lost school and work days, with certain regions and communities bearing disproportionate share, especially low-income communities, which may experience more than 200 times the cost of other counties. Whereas Wisconsin utility companies continue to meet the rising data center energy demands with coal and gas plants, investing in costly infrastructure and power lines that increase the cost of Wisconsin ratepayer energy bills. Whereas approved AI data centers will use more energy than all the homes in Wisconsin and lead to rising energy costs. Whereas hyperscale data centers can use between 1 and 5 million gallons of water per day, as much as a small city, disrupting water ecosystem which we rely on. Whereas data centers also generate significant noise pollution, reaching up to 96 decibels. This can cause adverse effects to data center staff, nearby communities, and wildlife. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Wisconsin Public Health Association will provide support for legislation or actions led by expert partners, including pausing of unregulated hyperscale data centers and the creation of comprehensive plans, including full reporting, transparency in water use, energy use, and emissions from data centers and associated energy generators to ensure that they will not harm Wisconsin communities. Call on policymakers that require data centers to be powered with non-emission and emitting energy sources, and support leadership by entities like the Wisconsin DNR to conduct cumulative environmental impact assessments and research that monitor health impacts, and collaborate with community-based advocacy organizations to educate members as well as communities and elected officials about the full economic, environmental, and health costs of unregulated hyperscale data centers, and encourage members to participate. And their statement of impact says the potential impacts of public health are massive, as hyperscale data centers implemented without public health and environmental protections threaten water, air, and exacerbate local and global impacts of climate change and increase preventable death and disease. And because I had to talk fast, I printed out copies for everybody.
Thank you, we appreciate that. I kind of lost you halfway.
May I approach the bench to provide these to Quinn?
Certainly.
Okay.
You made it through it all.
Thank you.
All
Thank you.
right. Thank you all for your participation.
Madam Chairman, I just want to clear one thing up. On the IGA, I've never spoken to her about this. This was something that I independently arrived at after watching a Zoom of the Rock County Board meeting, of going to a Rock County meeting, of talking to the Harmony Town Chairman, of talking to the Newark Town Chairman, and it's something that we arrived at totally independently, so, all right.
Thank you. And we have had that in your discussion. Thank you. That being said, is there a motion to adjourn?
Also moved.
Second?
Moved and seconded to adjourn, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Thank you, we are adjourned.